Brett Pontecorvo here at Mainstage to Ableton.com. Today, we're going to take a look at how to recreate Mainstage's Jump To feature inside Ableton Live. Here we are inside Mainstage, and the feature we're recreating inside Ableton Live today is the Jump To function. So you may normally have your sound set up just to be on a scroll. So as you see here, as I'm kind of moving through, but I also have these two buttons mapped on the screen, so at any point in time in my set, if I want to jump to E piano, I can select this button, and I'm at E piano, or this button, and I'm at organ. So Ableton allows us to do that as well, and we're going to take a look at how to do that with a dummy clip. We are taking a look at how to make patch-to-patch functionality the way Mainstage does it inside Ableton Live, and we're going to do that using dummy clips. A dummy clip is just an empty clip that contains no audio or MIDI information. Rather, it contains an envelope that can control a number of parameters. It can control your volume, it can control audio effects in a chain. There are really very few limitations on what you can control using a dummy clip. But for today, we're going to use our dummy clip specifically to control our chain selector. And that's going to be the way that we smoothly move between sounds inside Ableton Live the way that you do inside Mainstage. So let's walk through how to do that. There are 8 super simple steps, and we'll have you up and running in no time. Step 1, add an instrument rack. So navigate over here to the categories section, select instruments, instrument rack, and drop that onto a default MIDI channel. You'll want to make sure that your show hide chain list is selected and that you're in the chain menu. Super simple. Moving on. Step 2, add your instruments. Any instrument that you like to use, any instrument that works for what you're doing, you're going to add. I'm going to use 3 sounds: my hard piano open filter, my Juno pad with pulse, and my gentle piano pad. The chains that have been created here only receive MIDI information when the chain lines up with them. So here we've got MIDI going through, and here we do not. And we're going to use this to our advantage in a second. Step 3, adjust your chains. So you can do that by navigating your mouse right over the top of a chain and moving it to a different position. Now if you want 3 separate sounds, you'll want to make sure none of them line up, but if you wanted to do a layer, you could have it so that more than one chain at a time is receiving sound. I'm going to do 3 separate ones. Now we're getting into dummy clip territory here. So step 4 is going to be move your chain, or whatever parameter you're automating for that matter, but in our situation, move your chain where you want it. So sound 1 is going to be my hard piano open filter. So I've just dropped my chain on 0. And now I'm going to create a blank clip. So step 5, create a blank clip, which you're going to do by double-clicking in a blank clip slot. You'll notice immediately that we have a dotted line here, and this dotted line is telling you what you just selected. So we can check that. Right now our dotted line is at 0, and back over here at our instrument rack, our chain selector is also at 0. If that is indeed the parameter you want to automate, you'll click on that dotted line. So for us, that is what we want. So we're going to click the dotted line. And while we're here, we need to select our quantization and move that to none, so that as soon as we want our clip to change, boom, it's changed. And we're going to repeat that for every sound. So step 6, repeat that for each sound. Move our chain selector, create a clip, click the dotted line, quantization to none. And we've got one more sound here. move the chain selector, create a clip, click the dotted line, remove quantization. And just to make this easy to remember, we want to rename these clips. So step 7, rename your clips. My first one was hard piano. Second one is Juno pad. Third one is gentle piano. So let's go ahead and test this now. When I click the play button on my hard piano dummy clip, hard piano is selected. I've got it. When I click the play button on my Juno pad, Juno pad's rocking, and when I click the play button on my gentle piano, that is rocking. So we're really in business here. Our final step is MIDI map our clips. So step 8, MIDI map our clips. I recommend that you use MIDI CCs rather than notes, because if you map with a note in Ableton, that note becomes unplayable, which is not desirable for a live performance situation. So to MIDI map, you can click over here on this button that says MIDI, and I'm going to pick 3 buttons that work for me. So for hard piano, I'm going to select one button on my controller. For Juno pad, another one. And for gentle piano, another one. And then as soon as you're done, you can exit out of your MIDI section. Now, check it out. When I press my hard piano button, clip is firing for hard piano. When I press my Juno pad button, clip is firing for Juno pad. And when I click gentle pad button, click is firing for our gentle piano. And that's it. You are set up to rock and roll, quickly moving between sounds inside Ableton the same way you would inside Mainstage. And that's the way it's done. But if you're interested in setting up a full patch list, I've just finished my first ebook, The Fast Track Patch List Guide, and that's going to have you up and running with a fully functioning patch list in no time at all. So head over to my website at mainstagetoableton.com/go to get your free copy today. And to stay up to date with all of our latest blog posts and content, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel here.